my dad gave me the nickname Possum when I was 3 months old, and it has stuck. Here I am all these years later. My proper name's Cheryl Dawn, actually, Dawn after Dawn Fraser. I've had a few different occupations. The one I'm doing at the moment I really love because I like helping people. So I'm working for, we're auspiced by Marima Health, and the service is called Marabinya, which is Wiradjuri language for hand outstretched. We support Aboriginal people with one of the 6 chronic diseases to attend any sort of medical appointments and to get specialist services. We grew up in an era where everybody was along the same level and you know, not everybody had a lot. So there were only a few families that were pretty well off. We went to the Catholic school, which was only a couple of blocks from home, and it was lovely because back then we had nuns there, you know, that wore the habit and everything, and it was lovely, and it was just, and it was a really nice school. It was always, and that's why I chose to send my boys there as well, and then they went on to Catholic at high school, but it was just a lovely little school, and it's just, because it wasn't too many people there either, and it was special. Unless you have that belief, people don't understand it. I've lost a lot of family members, younger, and you know, most people say there isn't a God, but I don't believe that, and I think my faith has gotten me through because I believe we go somewhere special, so that makes it more accepting, and I think we're all on earth for this purpose, for a purpose. We don't know what until the end of our day, I guess, but I always think no, and yeah, so I do have a strong faith. I don't go around and preach it to people, and I think, and I'm not one to go to Mass every week. I enjoy, but when I go to Mass I feel really good, I enjoy it. But I believe I do more as a Christian person in my day-to-day life. Like I treat people with respect, and even if people are rude to me, I just think, you know, everybody's different, they're having a bad day or doing whatever. I like people, and I like to do little things, little things in the community. Whether it be, like, it's funny, I will pick up papers on the street and little things like that, because I think, you know, it's part of that, being a community person, doing a good deed or whatever, you know, or if I'm driving past, I hate to drive past somebody that I know and not offer them a lift, unless there's extreme circumstances that I can't, whether it be, you know, it doesn't matter who it is, because I believe we're all equal to a degree, and unless you do something wrong by me, I will treat you with respect, and I love people. To be a good Christian is not to be at Mass every week, it's to be a good person and to help your neighbour. And I know too, some of them, people think they don't deserve help. You don't know their circumstances. Don't be so quick to judge. Understand where these people have come from. And we're lucky that as such a diverse community that people do come together. Unfortunately, that's not always the case too, it's part of life. But I think we need to come together more and support one another. Some people have got a nice car, a nice home, other people don't. And not everybody's taught how to look after a home either, and to tend, whether it be just to keep your lawn green, you know, all those things. And I just think, well, we need to be more as a community to look after, as I said, charity begins at home. Look after those here, not necessarily away. So I think it's nicer if we can come together like that. And as I said, to be a good Christian, do something good for the people, not just think, oh, well, you know what, I've gone to church this week, that makes me a good person. Not necessarily always the way. It's a part of you being kind to others. And you know what, we don't have to like who we're helping, but I just think we'll reap our rewards in the end. May last year, my son had an accident, my oldest son, and he had a severe brain injury, and it was really touch and go. When it first happened, he hadn't regained consciousness. Anyway, it was the scariest thing of my life. I think I'm a strong person, I can deal with anything, but that really, really blew me. Anyway, he was in Canberra Hospital, and when I went down, I'd been down there a few days, and I didn't sort of tell anybody much other than my family and whatever, because it was important that I just need to be there and be there for him. But I did. His father died 10 years ago, and I'd said to him, you know, I don't care what you do, you're not taking him from me, you're not to do that. And I believe the only thing that got him through were prayers. I had a message from Mary Ann Gordon to say, you know, she just heard what had happened, and it was the nicest message I think I got, because she said they were having Mass that night and Father Magnus was dedicating Mass to Damien's, to his survival and he's getting better. And I thought, oh my God, that was the nicest thing. So when I'd spoken to this person, I rang them back about raising money, and I said, look, if you would really like to do something for me, if anybody in the community wants to do anything for me, go to Mass. I've actually found, and even though my work, we don't do case coordination, but if I see a person in need, I'm more inclined to help them out, and I'm happy to do that, and just to work with people and to make sure that they're safe and okay, because now having a better understanding of health needs and people, I'm probably more empathetic in that way, and to see somebody in need, and maybe too, because my mother's older, you see somebody who's a little bit not well or not functioning properly, to give them that little bit of assistance, which is good, and you feel better for it. And it's nice, like whether it be helping somebody into a car, giving an older person a lift, or taking something, carrying something to the car for them, doing whatever you can to help them out. It's good, and like I said, it's part of the community. I needed a change, so I went and did the Links to Learning with Centrecare, and I'd work in the high school 2 days a week. One day was with several different classes, but then I had another day where I worked with some boys that their attendance rates were really low at school and whatever, and wanted to get them up and to give them and to work with them. And they were mainly probably 14, 15, 16 even. Anyway, when I first started, luckily I knew one or two of them, but my kids had been left school so long I wasn't sure who was who. I approached the bakery, the butchers, Essential Energy, the Shire, like the waterworks, Cobo and everywhere. And these boys, I would end up every Wednesday when I'd arrive at school at 9 o'clock, they'd be sitting out the front waiting for me. What are we going to do today, Possum? The guys at the butcher shop were amazing. We went out the back, they showed us from start to finish what to do, and you know, they had let them have a go at making sausages, and then they had a go at the mock chicken legs, and then they gave them all a knife each, and I thought, oh, where's this going to go? But you know, showed them they could cut little bits and do whatever, and I thought, it was so nice. So when it all finished, I said, look, can I get a photo of you with the boys? So we did a group photo, and then they said, no, Possum, you've got to be in it. So we took a group photo, and then I just printed it out A4 size and said, you know, big thank you from the boys and Possum at Centrecare. I went into the butcher shop a few days later, and they had it stuck up on their wall. I truly believe there is a God and that we do go somewhere better, and you know, things happen to us in life for a reason, and sometimes it's to test your faith, but it's hard, I think, because I've always went to the Catholic school, used to go to Mass regularly and things like that. So I've always believed in God and always had that faith, and not like I've never read the Bible fully or anything like that, but it's one of those things, it's just something that you believe in. It's one of those things, it's really hard to describe, but I've always had it. I've never once walked away from it, and I guess because it's probably been a big part of my life, but not in your face as such, and I'm one of those, I don't speak out strongly about it, but I do believe. And yeah, I've sinned along the way too, but you know, like I said, we're only human.